Ohayo gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbawa, guten Morgen, guten Tag, guten Abend, guten Nacht, buenos dias, buenas noches, buenas tardes, bienvenue, bonjour, bonsoir. Joker88945, hello, thank you for stopping by. Ahoy akosamash, mokarimaka, annyeonghaseyo, assalamu alaikum, ole ohoy, kiora, hi. What's up? What it do? Good morning, everyone. Joker, thank you for kicking down the door. It's early morning streaming. It's early. It's morning. I'm streaming. It's as I've promised. It's everything I promised, and it's being delivered. Um. Okay, waking up. Hi, how are you? So yesterday we played The Binding of Isaac. I'm gonna still try to do my 10 minutes of bullshit, but I started a little late today. ADHD, just lost track of time. Just wasn't paying super good attention, right? I was too focused on like reading about vacation stuff, and then what are the Third Man, right? Orson Welles' film The Third Man. They're gonna make a 4K release of that, but I saw it. It's like this huge fuck off. It's the stuff I don't want. It's a movie, but it's a box like this, of course, because they have the movie and then books and postcards and soundtrack, and I kid you not, a motherfucking music box. And I'm like, I don't have space for the stuff I currently have. I would just like the disc. And so I'm just looking through. I'm like, did they bother to do that? Has anyone told them? Has anyone told them that like the people who are most likely to be into a 75-year-old noir film being released on the most current version of Blu-ray UHD 4K discs just cares about the movie? I don't know. I guess not. So I lost track of time. So I do want to kill a little bit of time waiting for people to join, because I know people, they like to hop on. They give them a minute or two. But we're back with the Playdate. So Playdate's this. If you haven't seen one before, I have the optional cover. I opted into the cover opting. It is a little device. It has an It has a e-ink screen, so it's like e-paper, right? It's black and white. There's no grayscale. Don't let the stream or anything like fool you. It is black and white and nothing else. Bonjour, the real Monty Python. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. But it's a high res display. There's no light. It is not backlit at all. It is you want a decent light on it, and it's kind of an interesting choice, because you wouldn't think, and current LCD, OLED, all that stuff. It actually looks really nice. It has a very high refresh rate, so it's like playing a comic or playing a manga in some ways. It's really, really interesting. There's like, I don't know how to describe it. I guess there's like no ghosting on it either. But I can wire it up through USB and stream it through their official software. And there's been a couple games that have come out lately. When it first came out, I got it, I pre-ordered it. And then I got caught in like one of the lower shipping groups, and then I kind of fell off it pretty quick. But the whole thing was they're supposed to release a game a week, and you play a game for a week, and it's a play date. You make a date to play a game with yourself, as opposed to the other ways you play for yourself, which don't often require dates. In fact, the lack of dates often leads to that. But I digress, perversely. And so I haven't touched it in a couple years, and I keep seeing more and more little games coming out. So I'm like, oh, I want to play that. And the thing that also makes it unique is this little crank, right? Little crank control. Doesn't charge it. It's an input device. And to help demonstrate that while we kill time, if you haven't seen it before, it's I have never beaten this. It's a joke that's worth 99 cents. It's a game that's 99 cents.
Crack the stars to crack the joke.
It's also a good chance to check the audio. Make sure that, let me know if it's too loud versus me. I can play with it.
It's the crankiest game with the
bounциest spot in the world.
Three guys are sitting in a bar when a great fairy appears.
And for the record, I've never beaten this. I think I've gotten like 5.
Three guys are
5
sitting
stars
in a
in.
bar when a great fairy appears. Three guys are sitting.
Bouncy butts, cracking the stars.
Three guys are sitting in a bar.
Cracking the joke. It's the longest joke.
Three guys are sitting in a bar when a great fairy appears. The great fairy says,
Someone's gonna get me. Yep.
Biggest joke in the world.
three guys are sitting in a
Sitting
bar.
in a bar.
Is it worth your time? Is it worth your way?
And you can kind of see
Of course it is.
the fidelity of the
Three guys are
of the
sitting
crank
in a bar.
9
is
cents on
phenomenal.
PlayDate.
Like the resolution it has, it is doing
Crack the
exactly
stars to crack the joke.
what I wanted to
It's
do.
Three guys are
It's a beautiful joke. It's the
I'm just doing it poorly, and the music is very loud for me, so I don't know. But I'm just doing that poorly. But it has some great fidelity, right? So it does lead to some very interesting interactions. Again, I've never come close. I've never come close to beating this. I have no idea how long the longest joke in the world is, but I know that I can't do it.
longest joke in the world.
Three guys are sitting in a bar. The great
Right?
fairy
Even if I get it
says,
going here.
I grant you 3 wishes. The first
One says $1
guy
million.
responds, That's cool. I'd like to have $1 million.
Oh.
I have no idea what happens after that.
Crank it up, crank.
Right. So that's the play date. That's what we've been getting into. And then the game I checked out briefly the other day that I'd like to circle back to eventually is 00 Perfect Stop, which is just basically a Densha Dago train simulator using the crank to control the train, right? Like the crank forward, crank back for accelerate and brake. And that was a popular arcade game and home game as well, where they had a whole console set up. Playing with it a little bit, you don't need the crank. Like it's 5 speeds up and 5 speeds down, but there's something fun about doing it. I immediately felt the fun of like, and then back and then back. But the other game I wanted to get into is I have yet to unwrap, so I don't know how it's going to play. I don't know how it's going to work. 00 Perfect Stop, the audio sounded like dog shit on this stream. Whereas you could hear the last one, like it played just fine. I messaged the developer on itch.io, and he actually got back to me. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to stream this, and it's bad. And he's like, well, make sure you're using the official Playdate cable that it came with, right? The yellow one, which I have, right? I don't have many USB cables that are that banana yellow and running directly into the computer. And I have. There's no hub. He's like, it's very sensitive to bandwidth considerations. I tried it with both, and it still does the same thing. So I went back to my longer 8-bit DOE cable as opposed to the yellow one, because apparently it's not going to work either way. So we'll just deal with bad audio, or I'll patch it in through the line in, and we'll deal with it that way. But to start, I do want to do game. Long story short, we at 10 minutes now. Close enough, 8 minutes. Mars After Midnight, right? We will unwrap it. I've never touched it before. This is a blind game. Lucas Pope developed this game, the same dude who did Papers, Please, and a couple other games, but I always go to Papers, Please. I know very little about it other than it looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. Audio sounds alright to start. There was a whole development blog that he had, and like I was following along with it, and he got really into a lot of the granularity, like here are the ideas behind it. So I say I know nothing about it. I haven't actually played the game, but a lot of the design decisions he sort of alluded to, like here's how he did the audio, right? I find these samples here. You gotta go. See you later. Thank you for stopping by, Joker88945. Watch the VOD if you can. But yeah, here's the samples I got. Here's how I go about making music. Here's how I design fonts. Here's how I design artwork, that sort of stuff. So learned a lot about it. So even these little fonts, he intentionally he made his own font for the Playdate. It has basically built-in fonts, but he actually wanted, like, no, I wanted something and I wanted to animate it. So there's a whole blog post on how he did that, and it was really interesting. He's got a lot of good thoughts. He's out here thinking with his brain. So let's dive into this. But I know enough that you're using the crank to planet Mars to control, like, you're the doorman at the anger management meeting? Earth colony. Good music. And again, it actually looks better on the Playdate itself. You get that sort of like the halftone screening effect. Off colony settlement. And I guess we're gonna go to another third dilapidated settlement. It's gonna be my guess. Or are we stopping here? Lucas Pope is smarter than me. He won't have me guessing what's going to happen next. I love the little wiggle and everything. That's really cool. Airtight shipping and receiving. Open till midnight. Game is like $6, right? Like most of the games aren't very expensive. Off calling community support center. With you so far, Lucas. Cyclops anger management. Refreshments included. Tonight from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Cyclops get it done at night. So only angry Cyclops allowed, right? No 2 eyes, no happy with 1 eye. You have to be angry. You have to have 1. Happy Thursday, Jed Levy. Thank you for stopping by. Happy Trash Day to everyone whose garbage goes out today, like ours does, right? They move that shit around on me every couple years, so I can't keep straight with it. But for some of you out there, it's probably Garbage Day. So happy Garbage Day. All right, so much like Papers, Please. If you don't know Papers, Please, basically that was kind of an immigration game where people come to you with papers, please. You're in of a sort of weird Eastern European bloc country. Why is it that everyone has Garbage Day on Thursday? I don't know. Ours was Sunday for a number of years, and then I had Monday for a bit. And Mondays suck because there's way too many Monday holidays. Thursday, Thanksgiving, stateside. In America, we have like one outside of the numeric holidays, like the 4th of July, right? That's an actual holiday, or Christmas, the 25th. Most of our holidays are Mondays. Juneteenth now, I guess, but Thanksgiving is always a Thursday. So Thanksgiving is always a Thursday, and Juneteenth, 4th of July. That's it. I think those are the only garbage man vacation days. Could be a Thursday. So I guess it's better. But Papers, Please. People would come to you and you'd look at their paperwork, right? And you'd have these sets of rules like do not allow people in from this area. And you have to check their expiration date versus what date it actually was today. And it was actually a slow grind to losing. The game was designed in such a way that it wasn't a question of winning the game. It's just like, when did you finally buckle under the bureaucracy of you can't juggle all of these tasks and these errors, and also at the same time, you know, you're running out of money. You need to get food and medicine for your children. So it's a whole thing. So I'm wondering to what extent this is going to be similar. So we open the window. Yeah, hopefully you can see it on my screen where I have the D-pad, the B and the A keys. I also mapped over my how I'm cranking, boys. In case you want to see me crank. A to open the door. Cool. Cyclops, anger management, refreshment provided. It still says the same thing. Close the window. Knock, knock. Open the window. He has 2 eyes, so I'm guessing the answer is no. I gotta go all the way up. Look around. Looking around. Cool. Reject. No. You're not angry, Cyclops. You do not come in. You are a Cyclops. He doesn't look angry, though. Is he angry? We'll invite him. I don't know if he was angry, though. I'm assuming... It's fucking beat. Dune Bug Pie. I'm assuming he was sufficiently angry? The like, I don't know, the what's the word I'm looking for? The vibrancy of the animation, like the amount of movement, the life in it is really cool, even like on a silhouette like that. 2 off-world calling credits. Thanks. Alright, so I guess they're slowly tutorializing us. 1 of 6. We gotta get 6 people into here. Alright, so it's doing the thing again. It's doing that, like, audio... I don't know if that's for affecting his thing or if that's, again, with the mirroring. Move tentacles. Alright, I'm moving it. Alright, left tentacle lift. Left tentacle drop. Right tentacle lift. Got it. Right tentacle drop. Lift everything at once. Am I not? Alright, so it's like a weird Tower of Hanoi going on here. Alright, I got it. Everything at once. Did I do it? I also gotta get the pie. Like that. Did I do it? Did I do it, Lucas? Or no? What am I missing? Do I gotta pick up the... Oh, that gotta go on there too. Now, how about it? How about now? We did it. Sweep. Crank the sweep. Crank the sweep. Crank sweeping feels good. Match wall poster. Alright. So we gotta put all... Again, like reverse Tower of Hanoi. Okay, so first things first. All of our plates go all the way over here. Plates go down there. Then, the pie. Punch-in pie. Pie goes there. And then our Dunebug pie sign. That goes here. And then our... What is this? A disher? Isn't this called a... No, disher is what you get ice cream out of. Nope. Down you go. Pie server? Pie spatula? Pie angle. It's our pie triangle. The pie angle. Put the pie angle down. Answer. Answer. Yeah, it's doing no audio breakdown. That's sad. That's two eyes, right? Those are eyes. That's not a mouth. Yeah, they're blinking. That's eyes. No. That's one eye. And that seems angry. Check around. Let him in. Okay, everything's fine, or are they going to mess it up each time? So I don't know if there's a story to this game, if it's just... oh, he wasn't interested in Dunebug pie. Refreshed? No, he was not refreshed. Did I do anything wrong there? Alright, let's get ready to open this door. That's one eye. That looks angry. He looks angry. That's an angry Cyclops, as best I can tell. Come on in, angry Cyclops. Help yourself to some Dunebug pie. Alright, cool. So he enjoyed the Dunebug pie. What the fuck is with these animals? What is with these animals? Why are they... Horrible people. Horrible, horrible people. This is no part of this is sanitary, but I guess at the same time, this is like the same place that you get like the health code warnings for, like the really good taco place. The one that has to have at least one health code violation one time. Alright, is that all cleaned up? That's all cleaned up. Alright. Yeah, I know. I'm coming. I hear you. I do hear you. Again, reverse Tower of Hanoi. Nope. Go! I'm answering. I'm answering. I'm answering. What? No. No. Too many eyes. Too many eyes. Too many eyes. One eye. Seems angry. Come on in. I guess only if they eat the Dunebug pie are they content? And do I have to go pick up the... Do I have to go pick up the slip thing? Nope, too many eyes. Too many eyes. That's one eye. And he seems angry, so welcome aboard. Now, if he doesn't eat the pie, I don't know what... Okay, good. Is it just sometimes they don't eat the pie? I'm not learning any lessons here. Lucas Pope, if you're trying to teach me something about myself, I'm not picking up on what it is. Alright, so the stupid sign has to go on top, right? Crank it. Crank it back. Crank it up. Crank it back. Alright, put it down there. It goes there. The control, I mean, there's not a lot to be said for the controls, right? You're just sort of whipping this animated tentacle around. Alright, pie's almost served up. What? You're not even a Cyclops. Go away. Not even a Cyclops. Is that multiple eyes or is that one eye? Is that a necklace or are those? Alright, I'm gonna hope that he's cyclopic enough. He sure likes the Dune bug pie. But left everything exactly the way it was. Refreshed. So only some of these are... Alright, so that's all 6, right? And now we have our Angry Cyclops session in process. No one took a slice... Not everyone took a slice of pie, though. I guess we're just gonna pick it up and shove it up in the... Efficient? I'd love to have one of those, man. Cleaning up after a party, just a giant vacuum in the ceiling. Throw all your shit into there. More likely to entertain if I had that. As it currently is, you wind up getting exhausted, right? Fall asleep, wake up the next day. It's like, oh, now it's like all kind of like stale beer and dirty glasses and plates. And okay, now I gotta deal with this because I'm still tired from last night. Yeah, it's definitely like... not keeping up. Cyclops anger management session in progress. Cyclops anger management session in progress. Session concluded. Please donate. How many Cyclops did we help today? 2. Hey, all 6. We did it. I assume that means we were successful. 12 off-colony credits. What do we use this off-colony credits for? He wonders aloud. Session clear. Hey, we're helping a lot of... Yeah, see that? I don't know. If this is going to be something I'm going to be contending with, I might have to reevaluate doing these Playdate games. "72 Martians still need help." Oh, that is rough. Choose a topic for tomorrow. Alright. Farty party. Gnat knife handling. Flinching fellowship. ESP 123. Non-blinker roundtable. Math Olympics. Boxing brush-up. Shine... Cracked skull crew. Windproof. What is all this? Clogged pore clinic. Secret agent meeting. Some of those seem different. Let's try to do... I guess gnat knife handling. Okay. Promotion. Place posters to promote. So now we're into lemonade stand. Martians needing help will only attend if posters are in their area. North Central District. This looks like this hits all 4. Alright, so those are, I guess, the Martians we can help. And that's the area then. So I guess all 4 of those are in the Northeast District. So we'll put a poster there and then... Is that it? Put a poster here as well. So that should be all of them. Is there a done? B to done. Okay. Refreshments. Please. Refreshments have no effect on who visits. Okay. But you can earn credits if the table is clean and visitors like the food. Dune bug pie, ice soup, dosh notes, wugwishes. Let's go with the donuts. I feel like that's some good, in this case, knife handling management session food, right? That's exactly what you expect to see in like a church, the church rectory. All right. So we're gonna do knife handling, 2 zones. We got 4 of 6 Martians. So how many more Martians can I get? Where are these ones at? Are these ones further down? Should be 6. Alright, I'll throw one down here just in case that's them as well. It still says 4 or 6. Alright, so there's no point in including that. We'll save our money. Running this Martian non-profit, it's work. It might be a non-profit, but it doesn't mean we're not actually working out here. We're doing good in this community. Helping a lot of people. People helping people. Hurt people. And helped people help people. And I think you'll find the same is true for Martians. That hurt Martians. Nah, that's just not cool, man. I don't dig on the slowdown, not even a little. So the Martian is dreaming of the mountains, and the robot is dreaming of the crank-up key, I guess? Of his skate key. He's got a brand new pair of roller skates. Why don't we get together and try them out to see? Insert cartridge. I guess it's maybe it's fun, but I don't know how necessary this is for me to. What do you want me to do? Crank? Is it press a button? Oh, it's used. Fine. I don't know how necessary it is for me to. Oh, come on, Lucas. What did I do wrong here? Is it not centered? That's not centered. Oh, so you gotta watch the shadow and it'll drift a little. Right? Come on! This is barely necessary. What am I doing wrong? This is making you, feel for the tentacle appendage amongst us, right? That some of this shit is hard to do when you're 1/4 Cthulhu on your dad's side. Just press and hold it. All right. So just still keep pressing. Good knife handling. Tonight, refreshments provided. In that case, it's a donut, though. It shouldn't be a pie. We won't docket points for this. New accessory available. Zoom lens. Alright. I've zoomed. Now what? Am I looking for anything? Did they just show me how this works? So only gnats with knives are allowed in. Do I have to look for a gnat with a knife? I'm not seeing... Oh, or was there? Nope. I'm not seeing... Oh, hold on. I'm not seeing gnats nor knife. So no. I'm assuming no. And then the next one will maybe be yes. I think they give you... Oh, here we go. Yep, sure. Welcome in, dude. Come on in, little buddy. Gnats with knives. That's so very specific. And how much damage could he possibly do? I ask you. None at all. Gnats with knives. That is not a knife. I don't know what you are, but you are neither gnat nor knife. Neither gnat nor knife. Not a gnat. Butterfly. No knife. Is there a gnat with a knife amongst you? That's what I'm worried about getting tricked on. Is like, yeah, that's just his, that's just his what the hell do you call that? Sponsor. His sponsor is full-sized and knife. Is that a gnat with a knife, though? I'll let him in. I think that's... He's got, like, spinny wings. Does that matter? Right? He's a little flying dude with a knife. Is that sufficient? Or is it, like, the wing orientation? Right? I could swear I could hear a gnat, but I don't know if that's relevant or not. Nope. Alright. No knife. What are you doing? Just trying to get a free donut. That's like a butterfly with a knife. I'll accept it. I don't know if that's... Is that good? Is that right? Is that wrong? I don't know. Get our crank in a position for the next door. Now, how much of the crank is necessary on this? Absolutely none, right? Like, this is just a fun thing to do. No one is interested in the donuts? I guess it's maybe a little big for them? I feel like we haven't done very good this one at all. Did we help anyone? That becomes my question. No one ate anything. Come on. Go on. We got a sake bottle here as well. Like, sake and donuts does sound pleasant to me. No one ate anything. Did we bomb? Was this a bad session? Did we help no one? That becomes my question. Did someone have a breakthrough? Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we helped 4 of them. I think we had the potential for 4. That cost us a lot of credits, but I think some of that's reusable. Like, we can use that telescope again. We helped 4 Martians. Is there just maybe not enough gnat with knife handling questions to justify? No, we gotta help everyone, right? So eventually we gotta do that one. So I don't... Farty Party, Flinching Fellowship, ESP123, Non-Blinker Roundtable, Math Olympics. Who's got like a bunch of people? Windproof Warriors, and they're all in a little area. So let's go with the Windproof. That's fine. The Air Blaster. Promotion. It's one particular area. They straddle in it. So you got that one, and I guess the one next to it. Fine. Fine. $9 plus. The Dune Bug Pie was popular last time. Right, so we're in for $12. We made like 8 last time. But again, it's a non-profit. We're not here to make money. We're here to help Martians. I think even at the best, all we can get back is 12, right? Like, am I playing this wrong? We're gonna run out of money. Just because we're a Mars 501(c) doesn't mean that we don't need operating capital, right? Like, we have expenditures, right? We got to keep the lights on. We got to keep the Dune Bug Pies rolling. He's thinking of a transistor. What is that? A three-leg? Was an what was that? An NPN resistor, right? No, transistor. Excuse me. NPN transistor. Yeah, that's a three-legged transistor. So he's dreaming of transistors. It's a pretty good little game. It seems like it's basically a collection of mini games placed together. Nothing wrong with that. Not a thing wrong with that. But right, it's sort of a we're not going to tell you a lot about this game. You just got to figure it out. Like this part where I got to press and hold, and eventually it goes in. Never would have assumed that. The Windproof Warriors. And the crank is kind of, it's in this instance, it is slightly gimmicky, right? So you could blow them away with the air. So only dudes who could withstand the air blow can come in. That's gonna take care of itself. Nope. Oh, this one's gonna be easy then. Fuck. Nope, no help for you. I don't care what your problems are, you're not coming in here tonight. Nope, no help for you. You're not coming in here. Like, how long do they have to resist? Like, this dude's hanging in here. Alright, come on in, dude. Yeah, the audio is now completely out of sync with the game, which is sad. I don't know. I mean, it's several seconds behind. Whatever. It's like 10 seconds behind. Yeah, well, we'll play a little bit more of this, but yeah, this being out of sync like this is actually just going to drive me up a damn wall. Want to do something different, but, you know, not if it's not going to work. Sorry, the real Monty Python. I apologize. That's a personal feeling I have. I just want to kind of do this stuff live because I like the extemporaneous nature of it, right? Like, I just like things being kind of, you know, off the cuff, and it's fun. But then what that means is sometimes like, oh, this shit doesn't work. All right, pivot to the next thing. Nope. Whole stack, please. Whole stack, please. Thank you for the stack. Alright. If I come over to this store and you get blown away right away, I'm going to be super pissed off, dude. What? 1001, 2 1002, 3 1003, 4 1004, 5 1005, 6 1006, 7 1007, 8 1008, 9 1009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 second delay on the audio before. Yep. So okay, like it kind of is what it is. So I don't know how much more of the game there is to this, but I can tell you kind of what I think about it. I love the aesthetic of it. I love all of the animus everything has, like the way things sort of move and flow. It's really cool. I can tell he spent a lot of time and attention. Well, I know from reading his blog of the things that he was sort of putting attention to, and all of the Martians you run into, those are all like sort of procedurally generated from like individual components, and it's really cool. You get like a lot of variety. I haven't seen anyone who looked the same as previous dudes, so that's really fun. The crank part of it, it's gimmick-like, right? It's not, but most of the use of the crank for this is kind of a gimmick. You don't have to use the crank. In some situations, like the surfing, like the whitewater wipeout, it's more fun to use a crank. You're a little bit more nuanced, and it feels like a little bit more consistent. You're actually directly controlling it. That's very cool. For other ones like Casual Birder, where you're using it to zoom in and out, it's okay. This one, it just seems like it's a substitute for the analog control. Like there's no difference between going like this and this and cranking around. That being said, I'm really glad he made this game. I'm glad he devoted the time and attention to, because he clearly put a lot in. It sort of helps like raise the bar a little bit on the games that we're getting for this weird, like I'm playing it actively, that we get on this console, right? Super neat. Assuming that I've seen everything there is to of the game, which is basically three and a half mini games, right? Mini game, the first is does this person match the criteria, right? Kind of like Papers, Please, right? Are they an angry Cyclops, or are they a gnat with a knife, or are they windproof or whatever, right? You meet criteria 1. That's game number 1. Mini game number 2 is this, where the reverse Tower of Hanoi, where you're moving the pieces around to clear up afterwards, right? Game number 2. Game number 3 being, all right, we'll select, I guess you want to call it, it's a little bit less gamey, of what's your session going to be about, where are you going to advertise, what refreshments are you going to have. That's sort of the half a game part, right, where it's a little bit like Lemonade Stand, but it doesn't really seem like it is. And then, the controls themselves, just dealing with the controls, that's like a half a game as well. It's certainly neat for $6. At least I think that's what it cost. But yeah, it's a cool little game. If the audio is going to be that out of sync, I can't justify streaming it, because it's going to distract the hell out of me as well, right? So we'll hop into 00 Perfect Stop. I wonder if doing the audio cable, like I was saying I was going to do, will also eliminate the slowdown. I don't imagine it would, because on some level, the slowdown's coming because of the USB, right? So I don't think we can take care of that just by cutting out the audio. It's some part of the USB. So let's hold on. Let's see if we can make this happen. Again, all this being done live, who knows how this will work out, but we'll try it. All right. Patching in the headphone jack to the line in. We'll give the line in some audio. We'll mute the USB audio in. And see if we can't make shit happen this way. All right, we'll test it out. I don't know that it matters. Let me see here. Okay. Alright, so what I did was I disabled the audio over USB, and now it's just coming in directly. I don't know. That seems like that's probably really loud. If anyone can give me an audio check, alright, out there. I'm gonna stop fucking with it for a minute. Let me know if that's too loud, or if you can hear the game, if that all works out well. But we can bypass it's just, this is fiddly. Because now I know it's gonna be out of sync, right? Because I've intentionally changed the mixer delay to match the camera. So now it's gonna be out of sync with the game, at least you can hear it. Which for this game, I think is gonna be fun, because it's a Japanese train station game, right? And if you've ever been to Japan, you've ever been on a Japanese train, 3/4 of the fun, at least for me, is the announcers and the train station tunes. You might want to turn it down a bit. Got it. Is that any better? I have to change the category we're in, so on Twitch. So take a second or two. Let me know if that's good. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, thank you there, Almighty Python. 00 Perfect Stop, who currently has 0 followers on Twitch. All right, so started to look at this yesterday. Already did the tutorial, so we're not going to get back into that. We'll do the local one stop. We will go from Gekkoji to Mount Fuji. That's probably the hardest part. I'm assuming that the closer you get to, if they're designing it as a game, probably the closer you get to Mount Fuji, the more difficult it gets. So maybe the Mitsutoge to Kotobuki would be the best place to start. So if I remember everything properly, all right, we got our train. Here's our train. Here's our train route. We're going from point A to point B. We're responsible for staying on time, closing the doors, not going too fast. So on the left-hand side, those are our speeds, the 30 to 60 to 70. Those are our speed markers. Can I just real quick? You can kind of see it. 30, 60, 70 on the left, we go from 0 to 5. That's our speed markers. At the top, that's our time. Both what we're supposed to be at and what we are currently. How far the stop is away, our current speed. So where it says 30, 60, 70, we don't want to go over 30 kilometers per hour in that first section. And then once we get from 0 to 1, right, that's 30. And then from 1 to 3, we can go up to 60 kilometers per hour. And at 3, you can go 70 kilometers per hour. You don't want to brake too fast either, and you're just using your crank to kind of control it. So look at the bottom of my screen here. We got your crank at. My crank is kind of set at like the directly up on the PlayDate. If it's right up here, then this should be in a neutral. We're just coasting. So forward to brake, back to accelerate, and then all the way on the other side for emergency brake. But I have the PlayDate laying down, so I can't emergency brake. So that should take care of itself. Our doors are currently open. We close the doors now, and here we go. Accelerating out. Kind of coasting here, though. Nope, wrong direction. Wasn't paying attention. Already fucked it up. So you also want to stay on time. And I'm not going to now that I went in the wrong direction. Forward seems like it should be accelerate. Back seems like it should be brake, but, you know, I'm not a Japanese.
This is a one-stop local train bound for Kotobuki.
That's a really good.
At our destination. The doors on the left side will open.
If that's not the actual announcer on, like, the JR rail systems, it sounds just like her. It sounds really, really, really similar. We eventually got to drop to 60 here, so we're going to try and coast a little. Maybe not brake at all. Brake a little. Keep it at 60. The nudging of the control, like I said, even though I know it's like, look, it's 5 speeds up, 5 speeds down. Like, it is what it is. Oh, I'm over. I thought it was 70. Oh, we're still in 60. All right. So, too busy talking. The nudging is very fun. Even though you probably could just do this with like a joystick, right? Like what is it exactly doing differently? But somehow, psychologically, it's there, right? It's like when you get, you ever play one of those like pinball controllers where the buttons are on the side versus on the top? How am I going to... All right, I'm paying a little bit more attention. It feels different even though it's not, right? The buttons are on the side instead of the top. What the hell's the difference? Well, it feels different. This has a feeling to it that's really interesting. I don't know if it's the friction. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. There's no resistance. It's not like there's any haptics associated with it. But something about... I don't know, something about it feels like, and obviously you don't have that level, quite have that level of precision that I seem to, you know, imply, because again, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I love the tunes. Train stations, all the train stations in Japan, they will have their own little jingle, and they're all different, right, to help assist with people who perhaps have visual problems. Or visual challenges. Helps them, like, you know what station they're at. And also, it's kind of cool. They also have, like, I think each station, at least in Tokyo, each station in Tokyo has its own bird. Like, so as you walk down the hallways, there's, like, little birds chirping, and each one has a different bird. Like, Japan likes to gamify everything, it seems. So everything has, like, some sort of game element to it. It's really cool. Alright. No! I'm bad at driving trains. Alright, let's get back to this. Maybe we'll get to coast and I'll start talking. We're gonna get into try hard mode where I get quiet all of a sudden. Just because I'm trying to Yeah, all right. Brakes engaged. Speed race. I'm not trying to go too fast. I'm trying to be very respectful on this here Japanese train. Well, they need to put me up to Shinkansen is what basically it is. I am the Sammy Hagar of Nippon. I can't drive 55. And now I'm in trouble for idling. Let's go. I want the announcements to be in Japanese. I can't quite hear if they were in Japanese yet either. But if they're not in Japanese, I'm very unhappy about that.
まもなく終点寿です。お出口は左側です。
Alright, once we get to 70, then I'll start talking. 60.
Fuji Express.
So what I'm struggling with, I'm starting to figure out is
Bound for Kotobuki.
is like we usually like the PID, right? The
Hello, destination.
trying to figure out how fast I gotta be going to get it so that when I hit that line at 60, I'm actually going 60. So what's the appropriate amount of throttle or brake to apply? The brake drops off really quickly versus, you know, you just naturally, right now we're coasting, so we're going to lose a little bit of speed naturally. So, I don't know, maybe if I'm paying attention next time we're on a Japanese train, maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're just sort of pulsing stuff as they get closer. No, don't go over 60. Don't go over 60. Sound the horn. And the acceleration happens relatively quickly, so I don't want to jam on it yet. I know I got another kilometer per hour I can use, but we're going to get up to 70 pretty quick. So we'll just go ahead and increase it here. And then maybe cut it at 65? Is that what it... Well, we got to get to 55 here, so we should just cut it now. And then... Okay, so as I'm playing this, I bet you there's like a maximal way to do this. Like, you could probably script this. That this is like a deterministic game. Right? Where you could... There's probably a way you could play this perfectly. And then once you learn how to play it perfectly, then that's just it. Like there's no randomization to it, is what I'm trying to communicate. Right? If you know exactly how much to throttle and when to throttle for how long to throttle, then you can do it. It's like it's like fucking Apollo 13. If you're watching like a movie about them like going out, it's like we need to burn for 1.23 seconds, then we need to immediately cut and then fire the. That's what it is. This is the same thing as far as I'm concerned. Hard brake. Hopefully we'll make it to 30. Should. And now we actually have to stop here. Ask me how to stop. Do we fail? Hey, we did it! 15 seconds late. That would get you fired in Japan. Alright, so I was about to say I successfully navigated. I don't know exactly how they want me to stop at the station, though. That's something I didn't figure out. Alright, I'm getting the hang of it. Alright. I'm ready. Let's go check out Mount Fuji. Let's do it. I am ready. I was born ready. Kikoji to Mount Fuji. There he is. There's Mount Fuji. Alright. I love the fucking train. I love the train station sounds, man. They're so good. We should arrive. In what? A minute and a half? That's it? Give it a little bit more power, give it a little bit more juice. How? Alright, fuck you, whatever. Lay on the horses. 4. Right, so after you kill off the thrust, after you kill off the acceleration, like, you should only be coasting down. I feel like sometimes I've been trying to cut my speed, and it still goes up a little bit more, so I don't know if there's, like, a delay. There might be something like that. But how about this? I think it's attainable. Also, in fairness, I'm looking at the computer screen. I'm not looking at the device. So if there is any type of delay between the capture, then that's probably the delay. So we're going uphill now. So I'm giving it 2, right? But we're not gaining any speed here. So maybe that's it. Maybe there's an uphill, downhill dynamic I'm not thinking of. Guess we gotta give it a little bit of break. Nailed it! Alright. So I guess we should begin our descent, right? Like, what do we want to call this? Starting to initiate our landing. We gotta shut off a lot of the speed. But we don't want to stop, so I guess we just want to stop in here. Did I stop short? I'm stopping short, I assume. Accelerated instead. What do you want me to do? Did we do it? I think we did it. 20 seconds late. Hey, that's an improvement. Still game over. Well, I don't know what it would have me do. It's supposed to be 1 stop. Alright. Let's see. What else do we have? Free mode. Same thing. Mitsutogi. Mitsutogi. Toge should be mountain. Mitsu is 4, so 4 mountain, 4th mountain. I guess I'd have to see it written in kanji to actually know, or have a chance at knowing. Dun, dun. Train simulations. I should change the Mars after midnight in case anyone stops by. They'll be confused. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? There. Alright. So I guess I just go whenever I want. Alright, so there's no passengers, there's no door to close. I'm just gonna go. And there's no speed limit. So what's to stop me from... Let's just do this. And just be the most annoying train driver of all time. So I guess when they're saying free mode, you're just kind of... Open world train game. See if I get to some multi-track drifting. Yeah, okay. Okay, so there is a Japanese announcer. Like I said, I'm wondering if it's kind of like stateside, how things that are done by like the U.S. government are public domain, right? Like they can't own anything, so that's why like photos from NASA, like anyone can kind of use it. Full steam ahead in your absence. Enjoy. We'll do the Romondi Python. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for helping me get the audio calibrated. I do appreciate it. But yeah, so you like photos from NASA with the NASA logo. Like anyone can kind of use it. There's very limited restrictions on it because it's paid for by taxpayer dollars, and therefore it's it's not intellectual property within the realms of like making a profit off of it. I wonder if the train, because the JR is a company, the Japan Rail, I think it's a company, but I think it is nationalized. I wonder if you're just free to download and use their audio announcements whenever, right? And there's no restriction on it, because if it's not, then the person who's doing that announcement is doing a really good imitation of the delivery and like the intonation of the Japanese train station announcements. At least to my mind, having been twice, but go for like a month at a time and ride the train 10 times a day. So I've heard them several hundred times. Jam on the brakes hard. Brake so hard we start accelerating again. I also admire, so like let's take a moment or two to look at this game as well. This is very clearly a 3D engine, right? Those are polygonal buildings, polygonal electric poles. What do you want to call those things? I don't want the poles, right? This isn't just like when we were playing the other day. We were playing Mirage Feathers, right? That was like some sprite tricks, right? Those are sprite scaling to, kind of like move planes around in front of you, like 2D images in front of you, like, oh, 3D coming at you, right? Like, oh, they're coming beside you and around you, and like, what if we angle them and shit like that, right? That's how they're achieving that effect. It's just sort of tricking you with perspective and scale. There's definitely like something that's polygonal going here, right? These are actual 3D buildings. And it's on a black, again, not grayscale, a black and white screen. So if you want to think of it kind of as a Game Boy, you can, but the Game Boy at least had 4 colors. Had four levels of gray. This doesn't have any levels of gray. This is either the pixel on, it's pixels off. So this is black and white. And it's like a fully realized 3D engine, and it works. Like, I can tell what's going on. I can see what's going on. I'm not familiar with this train line, but it does make me have about 100 questions in my head. Like, question number 1 is the team who made Hunter Bridges, right? Did he go through and actually model all of these buildings based off of like a real Japanese train line? Because that's something that's available. Like, that people are super into trains in Japan. I have no doubt that there's like camera footage of like that's what this route looks like, right? The Yamanote line. If you go on the Yamanote line, that's what this. If you were to, here's where things are on the left and here's where things are on the right. Like, that's how this would work, right? So I wonder if it's like that. Or did they just kind of like, is this just like a fictionalized, because I don't know this route. I might look up in Google Maps to check it out. But the amount of effort and energy that they would have put into that, it's kind of cool. Unless can you like download it from Google Maps? I know that they have some pseudo 3D topology in geometry. Like, there are some buildings that they can kind of infer. So I wonder if that, and a lot of these buildings, they're kind of, blocky, right? But nonetheless, it is pretty damn cool. And all this happening on like a little e-ink display. So despite all of the audio problems I was having, this very clearly, the device has a fair amount of power. So to make this game, when you could easily have made this on, and maybe easily made it on a PC, right? Mouse keys, arrow keys, up, right? You have, again, I should keep counting it, 8 levels of brake and 5 levels of acceleration, and an emergency brake. Open the door, sound the horn, right? Sound your horn. But they did. They made it on the little portable device, and again, to see it on the device itself, it actually looks a lot better than the screen. Because your eyes sort of fill in the nuance. If you hadn't done that as a child, like if you ever get like, I would say a comic from the newspaper, like a black and white comic book, who has it anymore? Or get like a manga, like a black and white manga, and look underneath the magnifying glasses. Even if it looks gray and there's different tones, it's all black and white. So he's doing this all with like different like half-tone patterns, screen tone patterns, which is really pretty rad if you ask me. It's fun. I can tell you 2 things about this. One, I'm definitely going to play it more. I don't know if I'm going to bother streaming it, because I don't know what the ultimate goal of streaming that would be. I'm going to play it more, and 2, I'm convinced that there is probably a perfect way to play this. And maybe that's half the fun, right? That there's something to be said for a game where the point of the game is to develop mastery in it, right? Even if you're not playing against another person, there's no randomization. it's a fixed thing that you're developing. You know, you're developing the intuition and the ability to interface and just the reflexes, as the case may be, to work a perfect run of that line. Hit every stop, be on time, don't go too fast, don't go, just nail it on the nose. That does sort of start to creep into my right where I get to games where I get from that real. Again, I always attribute it to Chris Crawford, but I know it's not necessarily his. Like, what's a game? Right? What's the difference between an activity, a toy, a puzzle, a game, the kind of the ludology? I think some people have referenced it as a school of study, the study of games. You know, picking up a stone and skipping it across a lake. Is that a game? Well, no, that's an activity. All right, but what if we say who can skip the stone more times? Well, okay. Is that then that becomes a challenge, right? Well, I got someone else who's doing it with me and they want to do better than me. Okay. Can they impact your progress? No. You can argue about whether that's a challenge or an activity, but it's certainly more than just a toy. So this might wind up being a challenge, and you can argue that challenges are types of games, right? You can argue that a crossword puzzle is a game, even though it's a finite solution. It's a puzzle. So it's an interesting puzzle. I might even say, okay, I could call it a game. But yeah, without the game playing back on you, right? You start to run into like a little bit of a gray area. Not to take anything from it. I love the concept of it. The using the crank for that is great. It's at this point in time in 2024, almost 2025, it's almost an iconic in certain spheres, the then should they go controller of using this to go back and forth. So it translates well. It looks cool on the screen. It's a big effort that I'm relatively impressed with. So like, mad props to Hunter Bridges. Like that's a cool thing he did. I want to play one more game here for a little bit, even though I don't have a graphic for it. This Spell Corked, I never saw it. I know nothing about it. It's unwrapped in a game, but you'll have to take my word. I've never tried it. I have no idea what this is about. But I'd like to learn a little more. Well, today's the day. Apparently we're witches. It's only been a few months since I graduated, and I'm still waiting to receive inventories. I'm still waiting to receive inventory still, but the shop is officially open for business. We are in a spell shop. Congratulations, Lune. We got a cat. I'm on board with that. Thanks, you two. I'm excited to finally start this adventure to prove myself as a witch. Something is flashing on your fancy new cube thing, by the way. Oh, let's see what it is. Cubos. I think there was actually already a Cubos. There definitely was a Bios. Bios was pretty cool. You could download that. I think, was Bios the one or was Amiga the one where they actually had like a custom built temporary pasting area, right? Like, you know, you copy and paste shit. Like, oh, I gotta save this for a couple minutes. So you wind up like putting it on like a text file and like putting it on the desktop, and then you have to remember to delete it later. I think Bios had like a dedicated area of, hey, you can paste shit into here, and then when the computer restarts, we'll get rid of it. You never have to worry about it. That might have been an Amiga thing too. Not just like a clipboard copy and paste, but you could go back and say, I need this thing, right? Like, it has the history and you could paste shit in there. So CubeOS, I guarantee you, was a thing. Maybe I got a message. Time to check my e-meow inbox. My wife would like that way too much. The e-meow. Cute. Brilliant. Yeah, that's me. Great. E-meow. Oh, a delivery. From your broom service delivery, an order of coffee beans has been delivered. A customer already. Whoa. Order number 1, Witch's Brew number 1 fan, Strong Joy. From Cube Systems, welcome to your brand new... Oh, we can actually open it. Okay. Brand new Crystal Cube, the perfect system for the modern witch. All right, and you use the crank to help check out the emails. That's fine. Hi, is this a cafe? Either way, I'd like a coffee with Strong Joy, please. Witch's Brew number 1 fan. We're a potion shop, not a cafe. I'm no barista, but I do have coffee beans. All right, so we're actually going to have a coffee shop here. Your order of coffee beans has been delivered. Thank Toad, we made it the most important part of getting this shop and running. Coffee beans. All right. Okay, I've read all the emails I've received for now. Let's tackle our first order, shall we? Manny, can you pass me the Man, he's out cold. Never mind. Alright, let's get the order started. This, oh my stars, Bo. What is this? Good animation on this. Like, I like the animation on the cat. A gift from Fair. She entrusted me with this grimoire before she left on her trip. I was to give it to you as a surprise on the day you opened the shop. It's beautiful. Well, open it up and take a look. Here's our grimoire. Most of these pages are missing information. Indeed, the grimoire will now begin to manifest information as you practice your craft. This one is brand new. I'm afraid you get to start with a blank slate. No more school owners. A grumble. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll learn quickly about your ingredients and their effects when you do fill these pages in. You need a reminder. Okay, cool. Coffee bean. All right. Enough reading. Let's get to coffee bean. I went ahead and put your delivery on the shelf for you, by the way. Familiars are dope. You need more. If you don't have a familiar in life, find yourself one. Sometimes the closest you'll get to a familiar is like a partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, person friend, whatever it is. Like, but get something or someone that understands you the way a familiar understands the witch. You'll appreciate it. I know I got one. My fur got all dusty though. You really ought to clean up here once in a while. Probably. Select one or two of the ingredients here to use them in a recipe. Coffee beans. Added to the recipe. Added to the recipe. On to the tools, indeed. Here's where the magic happens. I'm guessing we're going to use the crank to grind the beans. Here's where the magic happens. After grab the ingredients, you'll find the tools you need for making potions here. Make potion. Let's make some magic. Okay. We have our trusty mortar and pestle. Pressing and holding the D-pad moves the pestle and crank rotates it in the mortar. Okay. Let's smash these really good. That's fun. Yep. Confirmed fun. Did I go too far? Did I just crush this one bean? Or is that... No. That's not how it works. Use tap. Oh, there's a tap. Oh! Okay. Well, maybe an apothecary in here. Is it... And that's good. We're making like an espresso. Mix everything together in the cauldron. Use the crank to stir it within the target rings. Am I supposed to serve with my paws? Never mind. Am I supposed to stay in here or no? That's bad. And this area is good? This area is good, right? Wait, how am I supposed to... Am I supposed to avoid those things then? What do you want me to do? Oh, the faster you spin... Okay, the speed controls it. That's kind of challenging. We got our special ladle. Tilt the PlayDate to pour. You have to believe me that it looks good on the screen. It looks good on this. Another game. Spellcorked. Joy. Strong. It looks good on the screen. By Lume. Rotate to landscape. Believe me. Believe you me. Almost done. I just need to select the shipping label for the customer when to send the potion to. Choose to order the ship. Order complete. Who turned on the lights? You've worked so hard you notice a passage of time. Maybe it's time for a rest. It took me all day to make a coffee. Well, okay then. There's no need to make any other potions. I guess I can go look out the window until tomorrow. Let's do that. For some reason, when you finish the day's orders, you can look out this window to sleep, which I assume is a witch thing. I'm sure. Check orders, grab ingredients, make a potion, send it off at the end of the day when all my orders are done. Sounds right to me. Okay, so that's your game loop. All right, I wanted to check that out a little bit. It seems like it's pretty cool. I really am enjoying the... Let's just necessarily say the ingenuity of what people are doing with a somewhat limited resource combined with a novel resource, right? So black and white e-ink non-lit screen, but with a crank that you could kind of use it just as a D-pad or a joystick, but it works a little bit different on its own. I'm really liking that's sort of the way that message. One of the things I always liked best about certainly a couple generations about the Nintendo consoles is Nintendo always tend to do something different. Whether or not it worked is that's debatable, but they were always kind of moving, right, kind of moving things forward. So you go from the Famicom, the NES, contemporary controllers, right, face buttons, cool, great. Super Nintendo, shoulder buttons. We'll throw some buttons on the shoulder. Compare that to the Sega Genesis. Your 3 in the front or 6 in the front, right? Or you had your TurboGrafx 16, you had your buttons in the front, right, like that. In the UK, they were still using like joysticks, right? So having 4 buttons on the front and 2 buttons on the shoulder, basically for Street Fighter, you want 6 buttons. But that was different. Like, oh, shoulder buttons, that's something different. Cool. All right, so then you move on to your next generation. We slide from Super Nintendo, go to Nintendo 64. PlayStation comes out. Okay? So PlayStation, which is basically was designed for the Super Nintendo, but Nintendo and Sony had a falling out that went to Philips instead for their CD attachment, which became the CDI, and Sony said, fuck it, we'll make our own stuff. Copies the Super Nintendo button structure, 4 on the front, 2 on the shoulder, right? Pretty simple. Actually, 4 on the shoulders to be exact. Nintendo 64 analog joystick. Let's do an analog joystick instead of it just being you press in a direction. It's always on. We'll do a little bit of an analog thing. It'll give you some granularity to it. It's not the first console to have an analog joystick. I think the Bally's Astrocade had an analog joystick before that as well, which would have been great for playing Food Fight, or they had different arcade games, which were, you had the 48-way joysticks where you had that. But they did stuff like that. First to really do a decent wireless controller with the Wavebird, right? The motion, for good or for bad, first to really get into doing the motion controls. We can argue about the merits of that some other time. But I always like a novel control scheme. It helps drive innovation. So the crank is certainly different. It might as well just be, it might as well just be a joystick. But it does feel different. And some of these games feel different for the different mode of interaction. So that's interesting to me. So I don't know. I think I'll continue to kind of eyeball these games. And if anything comes out that I think is worthwhile or worth streaming, I might do it. The streaming interaction could be better. I don't know why stuff starts to grind to a halt and fall out of audio sync. Presumably, it's what the one developer told me. Is like, hey, it's really bandwidth sensitive, so maybe it's not ideal for streaming. So maybe it's not the world's greatest streaming plan, but it's an idea that we currently have, and we'll be playing with that occasionally. It's not going to not be in the rotation, is maybe how I'll phrase it. But yeah, I'll definitely be playing more of 0-0 Perfect Stop. I might even play that like on a Japanese train to really kind of complete Gild the Lily and really get all the way into it. So let's do a little bit of housekeeping, and we'll start to wrap up. We'll find someone to raid while we're at it. I think Paperweight's probably still streaming here today too. But what we got up tomorrow, Shroom and Gloom, which is a first-person deck building roguelike. Also, not too far away will be Fairy Tale Beach Volleyball Havoc, which again I'm hoping is going to be like Neo Geo Super Dodgeball. I don't know if it will be or not, but it'll be something different. And then followed by shortly after is UFO 50, which I got to figure out what I'm going to do when UFO 50 comes out. That's a big one as far as I'm concerned. That's 50 mini games made by a variety of game developers like Derek Yu, who did Splunky. So there's probably a lot of really good little games that there's going to be a lot to explore and get to the bottom of. I don't know if it's going to be something where I'm going to try to do like a game a day, because that would take me a long time for 50 games. I stream 5 days a week, right? So you're talking 10 weeks, be the rest of the year. To kind of get through that. So I'll have to figure out what to do with that. Also, some of those are multiplayer. So I don't know if I can trick anyone into playing with me. If anyone feels super like playing with me, you could let me know. Paperweight has mentioned in the past about us doing like cooperative gaming streams, specifically referencing The Binding of Isaac. But I don't know, if I find a good game here, maybe I could poke him and get him to hop over. I do want to get back to Crypt Custodian. I got to figure out where that's going to be on the calendar. I do. And then Natsumon, as much as I enjoy it, I don't know if I'm going to get back to streaming it, just because I don't know if I've done everything there is to see, and now it's just going to be watching me play the game from a completionist perspective, and just sort of talk openly about stuff. Part of what I like doing on the stream is playing games that are new to me, so I have something to say, right? I haven't seen this before. It's something for me to discuss. It's something for me to mention. I can talk about this thing. It's a prompting, right? I have a topic being presented. What do you think about this thing? Oh, that thing. Let me tell you what I think about that thing you're showing me right now. And then when it's a game that I've played through and we've kind of we've cracked open all of the acorns, right? We've opened all the doors, and now it's just a process of finalizing the system. I feel like I start to run out of things to say. It's maybe where I'm running into with the Binding of Isaac, right? I got a lot to say at the start of a run, and then as I get items and I get powers, like, okay, we're doing this, and then once something's kind of like, okay, the final quarter of it, I got nothing to say. It's just now an execution phase. It's just like, all right, well, hopefully am I going to die now? I don't think this is a good run. I think I'm going to die. Oh, I think this is a good run. I think I'm going to do well. I just ran out of shit to say. So I might be at that point with Natsumon. I just might not have a ton more to say about it. Paperweight, you beat me to it. I'm getting ready to sign off. Stopping by with 4 viewers when I'm wrapping up and explaining how I was about to go see you. Paperweight, how was your day? How was your stream? Tell me all about it. Everyone for coming over, thank you so much. I'll probably be passing you over to someone playing The Binding of Isaac as well, because I know that's where you came from. But what I was saying is, for the VOD, yeah, I think that's part of where I am. Is it's just sort of I run out of things to say about games, and having new and different games gives me something to talk about. It gives me a prompt, and I think that's why I'm going to keep kind of juggling it up. And I don't think I have a whole lot more to say about Natsumon, despite me liking the game. I don't have a ton more to say about it, at least not on a stream. So I probably won't be going back to streaming that. But Crypt Custodian, we're definitely going to go back to. I got a lot to play, a lot more to play with that, and a lot more to say about that. Paperweight, tell me about your stream. How was your daily challenge? All the raiders, thank you for stopping by. Tell me about your days too, as I start to figure out what we're going to do next. But yeah, one other thing I'll throw out. I am also currently, because I have played all these different games throughout the years, I haven't done anything so formal as to like review games. And I don't know that I'm actually going to go like review them, but I think I am going to start to sum up my thoughts on games in like a concise way, right? In a more rigorous way, instead of just sort of playing them, talking about it, and just kind of, we just fade off from it and we never mention it again. So I think I'm going to start doing that. Look for that in the very near future if you care for that sort of stuff, where you want to call it a review, fine. I'm not really thinking about it as a review, but just kind of like a summation of what I think of a game, right? Because I'm long-winded and I talk a lot. Circumloquacious, right? I talk around shit. Just quick and to the point. Paperweight. It was the lost and took a risk for an extra boss item, and you lost the daily. Bad choice. I did the daily yesterday, and I thought I was doing good until you motherfuckers kept like making me fight more and more bosses. I'm like, oh, there goes mom. Okay, oh shit. Well, okay, well now we're on to it lives dead. All right, cool. Now we're good. Like, okay, well no, now I got to go down to Shoal, and it's just like, fuck. Like I wasn't built for on that run to like go that deep, and it was just like, man. So good Mega Satan win as Eden afterwards though. Good. Yeah, I wound up beating Satan, and then like I think what yesterday daily after you beat Satan, you had to go like down one more. I was like, fuck, man, it was too much. It was too much for me. But I did actually do. I didn't stream it. I did a greed run just to try to get more coins into the greed machine. I don't think it was anything worth watching. Eve yesterday with Eve. I can't remember exactly where I died, but I was slightly frustrated where I'm like, come on guys, we're done here, right? You're gonna make me keep fighting dudes. Like this is, we're not doing good. We're not doing good at all. So, but yeah, it was Eve yesterday. And today what you guys missed was I played a bunch of Playdate games. Feel free to watch the VOD if you care. Mixed bag, we'll call it. She can be risky with a low HP though. Yeah, I shut it off the razor almost immediately. You actually try to do your knock. Does it still give you the option to knock paperweight? Is that off your screen yet? So if you can knock, I'll try to patch your audio through. It might make life easier. And if it doesn't, that's okay. But yeah, I had the razor. I got rid of that almost immediately. 1 sec. Can do. Let me try to multitask this here as well. Need to open OBS again. I don't think you have to. Except, yeah, I don't think you have to open OBS. They're just going to come through on the audio. Dun, 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 dun. Notify my that I'm going live as a guest on Paperweight's stream. Okay. All right, Paperweight, can you hear me yet? Yeah. All right, let me get a little audio for me. Let me see if I can get you over into here. Yeah, I think that's all it is. So hang tight. So I don't think anyone can hear you yet until I patch this over. Let's see if this works. All right. If I do add browser, call it Paperweight. And then, nope, that's not going to work. Shit, that's not what I want. Add display? So I want the audio too. It's not just going to be audio capture. No. It's not going to be that. Nope, that's my HDMI input. That's what I'm maybe window cap. True. All right, let's see. Let's see.
I want to see.
All right, I don't know if you're going to be loud enough, but go ahead and give it a shot.
Okay. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can see. You're peeking on my thing.
Turn
this on monitor.
All right,
Paperweight, thanks for stopping by. Hey, how are you?
No worries. I don't know if this is the way to do it. If we collabed or something on a on like an Isaac run, for example, if we were playing the same game, it might be easier to do it in like Discord or something.
It probably is. I mean, I think I get the
feature.
It is. I get the gist of why they're trying to do it. But I don't know how well it actually works out.
Yeah.
So we can crop you down here.
There doesn't seem to be a delay in it though. It seems to be like it was quicker. Like the audio was coming through immediately from you, and then there was a delay for the audio on your stream. So.
Yeah. But I think
we don't have this. It's not like tied to your stream output.
Right. I think it actually just going directly through Chrome. I think they just basically made like Slack or whatever you call it through Chrome, and that's what we're just using. But yeah, we'll definitely. I'll park you on top of. We'll park you on top of legally distinctive video game Godzilla. Video game dinosaur, not a Godzilla. It's illegal. I get sued. I'm not getting sued. Yeah, we'll do a Isaac collab, and then we'll just use Discord for it. But this is at least something.
Yeah, it'll be good. It's nice how it works anyway.
Yeah.
Nothing like complicated to get it patched into the stream and stuff.
Well, especially the way they keep, they're like, hey, try this out. It's okay, and then we go to do it. And it's like, now jump through these 12 hoops, slash figure it out on your own. Good luck, right? Like it's.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts. All right, so you said you did have a deep run today, though. Put this on something else.
Yeah, we had a good run after the daily. I think I did 4 attempts at the daily today. Like after the first fail, I tried it again and failed. Pushed it in a different way, and then I started one. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and re-roll this item, and it wasn't a good idea, so I just restarted again. It doesn't matter at that point.
Do you
Do
get
you get
credit?
credit?
So like, I'm partially doing it because I want to try and unlock items.
I guess you only get credit if you clear it on the first go, or if you clear it at all.
For the 5 wins in a row and
Yeah.
the 5 and the 7 wins total, you
Yeah.
have to clear on the first go.
All right. So that's
You have to start 31 dailies to get the other unlock.
I'll never do
It
that.
doesn't matter. You just start it and quit.
I
basically never play games on the weekend, so that I'll probably never wind up doing that.
I'm gonna just set this train to coast so that I have something on the screen
other than just the menu. So there we go.
You don't have to win 31 in a row. You don't have to start 31 in a row. You just have to start 31 dailies.
Yeah.
But here,
You don't have to worry about the weekends.
I can try it, but I mean, I can tell you, I'll pitch you to like my average Saturday. My average Saturday is like, my wife and I will roll to bed about 6 or so. We go up, got the breakfast, and you start doing like the trappings of life of stuff that you don't do during the week, whatever chores or whatever grocery shopping, whatever you end up having to do. And then next thing I know, I blink and it's bedtime. So I guess I could get in and right before bed, run into the PC, fire it open, press start, turn off the mod, turn off the daily, hop back out. I could try to do it, but I don't know if I'm going to do it for 31 days. I'll drop it.
Like I say, you don't need to do that. It doesn't have to be a consecutive 31-day period.
Oh, so I'm just not listening.
Got it. Okay, it's just to be 31 days.
All
Sorry.
you need to do is win 5 dailies in a row out of the dailies that you start.
Okay.
So you can skip hard ones. It doesn't matter. As long as when you start it you win it. If you do that 5 times, then you get the 5 in a row.
Okay.
Same for the 7 wins. You don't have to do 7. You don't have to do every daily. You can skip them and come back.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to win 7 in total. And start 31. There's no time limit on it.
Got it.
Lots of people just start it and quit immediately.
All right.
So you can skip as many as you like. It doesn't matter.
I might have to. I mean, we're saying like some of them I'm skipping as if it's not appealing to me. It's just not my it's not quite my palate. But most of the time I wind up dying in the 5th room. I'm like, the game has opted to select against me.
Yeah, like most people who were going for the 5 in a row, they would have skipped today.
Right.
Because it's the Lost. There's every chance that that just the slightest mistake can cost you this run.
Right.
So
because the Lost is
I've found generally that the Lost on the dailies.
Yeah.
I'm usually win the Lost. It's not that hard.
So
I should have won this one, but I took risks. Like I said.
The Lost is the one where it's just basically he just has like the divine shield, right? Like he
has a holy mantle. And you get it refreshes every room, but 2 hits and you're dead in any room.
So
basically it would be the end of me because
that's not any way that I'm capable of playing, right? Like
it teaches you to play the game, in a different way, and there are plenty of ways that you can maximize your chances of not dying. He starts with spectral tears, so you can hide over rocks and stuff. He has his strength.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just I seem to play with the theology of
what if I just threaten them and just make them do a morale check by absorbing all of their bullets. Eventually they'll take pity on me from the amount of the beating I take. Right?
You
ever see the film Cool Hand Luke?
Did you ever see Cool Hand Luke?
I did.
That's my
stratagem, right?
Me and Dragline
just till Dragline gets sick of kicking my ass, and now I win.
All right.
So here's what we'll do. I think it's down to we got 4 people left. Paperweight and I will figure it out.
Did you send me?
What'd you give me your Discord? Did you ever give me your Discord or no? I don't remember.
Possibly not. I do have a Discord now.
Let's see. Because what I'll do is I can also. I have to update 15 and updates for Discord because I never turn it on. I'll message you. I'll whisper you in Twitch my Discord name. You do the same, and we'll match up. And then we'll figure out maybe piano lesson on Wednesday, right? Are you still gonna do? I know this week was skipped, but same next week.
It's back to normal next week. I've got a few Wednesdays where I'm free.
Okay.
Coming up, my teachers got various holidays and things.
Got it.
But yeah, mostly Wednesday. That's a consistent thing.
All right. Well, we'll figure out a day that we could do it, and then we'll try to figure out a couple days in advance so we can tell people, hey, this is gonna happen. I know we share viewers, and they'll have to figure out like how we're gonna.
Yeah, well, we'll have to also work out how to do it because I think you have to do something. I think it's still like a beta thing.
Okay.
With Isaac to do the online co-op. I haven't tried it myself yet.
Okay.
So I'll have to look into actually how you do that.
All right, we'll figure that out too. What might wind up happening is I might beat you over the head if this UFO 50 game comes out. A bunch of other mini games. I might make you get that as well, and just interject that into periodically because I don't think I have anyone to play those games with. So I'll chip in. I'll buy you a copy. But I just might need someone to play with otherwise.
UFO 50, I see it.
Yeah.
Let me just have a look at it.
It's a bunch of mini games by different developers. There might be good stuff in it. But all right, let's. I'll start to do my wrap up here.
I'll leave the call then, and we'll work something out in Discord.
All right. Thanks, Paperweight.
Okay, no worries. See ya.
See it. All right, we'll do my normal sign off. See, we got Paperweight sign in, and see how much better it is to have him around versus just me. Right? It's a lot nicer to have other than me. Someone who's got a little bit better of a head on their shoulders than myself, and I'm just not paying attention half the time. So it's nice. Big shout out. We'll thank Joker88945 for stopping by. Thank you for chatting. Romani Python, thank you for stopping down, kicking down the door. Appreciate it. And Jed Levy, as always, thank you so much for swinging by and sharing with me your garbage day. That is super important. Of course, Paperweight, thank you for stopping by and streaming. That means as much. My audio is doubled. My audio is doubled. Let's figure out why that is. All right. Checking in here. That's the mixer. That should be right. Is that any better? Hopefully that's better. Because the only thing that's sliding right now is my mixer. Oh, that should be it. Okay, I think I found it. I don't know where the hell that came from, but I think we got it. Okay, cool. To everyone else who's watching, I'd like to thank you for watching. I appreciate when you guys watch me play video games. You didn't have to watch me play video games. You could have played video games yourself. You could have done something completely unrelated to video games at all. You could have watched a film. You could have watched Orson Welles' The Third Man. I mentioned it earlier today. Classic of the noir genre. Now hitting its 75th anniversary. Apparently a 4K UHD of it's coming out. But like I said, it looked like a big fuck off box set. But it's an interesting movie. Good soundtrack. I find myself thinking about the little jingle tune that gets played a lot. I understand why they wanted to put a music box into that set. Because I get it. But a very cool movie, and you could get into that thing of people always refer to this is the Citizen Kane of this is the Citizen Kane of that, somehow implying that Citizen Kane is the best film of all time. Well, how could that be if maybe Citizen Kane isn't even Orson Welles' best film? Maybe it's The Third Man. Who knows? You'd have to watch it and figure it out for yourself. I haven't seen Citizen Kane in a million years, so I wouldn't even have anything to reference it by. Keep this going. To everyone else who wasn't watching, I'd like to thank you for not watching me as well. I appreciate when people don't watch me because I appreciate when people leave me the fuck alone. Let's go see who we can raid. Mostly Paperweight people. Someone who speaks English. Someone who's playing Isaac. Someone who could use some bodies. Let's go. We got a Scott. Nebula Starstorm. Oh, I'm following him. I think we already went to him one time, right? I think so. Let's go back to him. He got a couple people. We could justify it. Starting to raid. All right. Hope everyone has a good day. Peace out and deuces. We'll see you out there. Bye, everybody. Drive safe.